What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made this. Beautiful, delicious, smoky, porky, tender, amazing pork chili verde. That's right, folks, we're taking some pork steaks, throwing them on the old direct heat pit, and then braising them down in some lovely salsa verde. And of course, we're going to throw that on a homemade beef fat flour tortilla and top it off with some lovely herbs and pickled radishes for a beautiful taco. Coming up. This is some meat. Pat it dry. And what I've got here is a couple of pork steaks. Pulled these out of the freezer, and these are simply just a steak cut from the pork butt or the pork shoulder. Beautiful marbling in there, and should work out perfectly for what we're doing today. Because today we're taking a look at chili verde, and how this came about is the other day I was making a batch of Texas red chili, also known as chili con carne, and it got me thinking, how come you never see chilies made out of pork or other meats? So a quick Google search later, and I was reading about different variants of beef chili, like Oklahoma style or Cincinnati style. And then the other proteins showed up in the form of chili blanco, or white chili made out of chicken, and then there it was, chili verde made out of pork. And essentially it's a pork stew where you're braising down chunks of pork shoulder in a salsa verde, and that sounds really good. So that's what we're gonna make today. And typically for a chili verde, you're gonna cube up some pork butt, throw it in your pot, brown it off, get some good color on there, then throw your salsa and other ingredients on top, and braise that down until everything is nice and tender. But you know I gotta throw a little smoky barbecue flavor on these, and I think I'm gonna leave them in full pork steak form for the first part, just to make life a little bit easier flipping and getting good color on these. And then we'll cube them up right before they go into the pot. So for now, all we gotta do is get these seasoned up. And for a rub today, I'm going on with some Chuds BBQ steak rub. This is probably my favorite rub. It's a tie between this and snake bite, if I'm being honest. And as the name suggests, it's great on steak. And these are technically steaks. It's a pork steak, but also this stuff is great on absolutely everything, like most rubs are. Just some salt and pepper and a little bit of savory umami boosters in there, which enhance the flavor, but does not overwhelm the natural flavor of the meat. But of course, you could use whatever rub you like. Salt and pepper would be just fine, or no rub at all, because this is going into a stew or a chili at the end of the day anyway. So we can adjust the flavors at the end, but I figure we might as well start building those layers of flavor. So just a nice healthy dusting all around, top and bottom, and we're not going to forget the sides. You know the drill at this point, folks. Boop, 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 boop. And now that I'm looking at them, I'm not sure if that's enough meat. Worst case scenario, I've got extra pork steak on hand. Oh no. Looking good to me. Let's go ahead and fire up the pit. Got the old Chud Box here fired up, rocking right around 300 degrees with some good old-fashioned lump charcoal. So on the pit we go. Gonna cook these for probably an hour or two just to get some good color on there, build up some of that smoky direct heat flavor, and start to render some of that fat down a little bit. And like I say with most of these videos where I cook something on the pit before I throw it into a braise or a soup or something like that, the longer we cook it on this, the less time it'll have to stew down. So how far you cook it is really up to you, but I'm gonna cook it until we get a really nice color, some good crust, and of course some wonderful direct heat barbecue flavor. And while we got the pit fired up, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on some veg for our green chili sauce, including 1 onion. This is a white onion. I would have preferred a yellow onion, but I went to the store at like 5 p.m. last night, and pickings were pretty slim. Also gonna go on with a couple of Poblano peppers, some jalapeños, and some Tomatillos. Some very small, kind of sad looking Tomatillos. Maybe January wasn't the right month to make this video. But we're just gonna let those cook down, soften up a little bit, and take on some color for probably about 30 minutes or so. So it's been about an hour on this cook so far. Went a little bit longer than anticipated, but everything is starting to feel nice and soft and nice and cooked. But if you want a little bit of help blackening the skin so you can peel them, you can always bust out the old blowtorch. Make real quick work of it. Little extra char flavor. But now I'm gonna pull all these off and pop them in a little Ziploc bag to let them steam out for a little bit. Looking good. And after steaming in this bag for about 10-15 minutes or so, out they come. And we can go ahead and wipe all the skins off the outside so nothing gets too bitter. Again, you don't need to get all of them off, but do the best you can. And once peeled to your liking, you can take off the stem and scrape out all the seeds for a beautiful roasted pepper. And we'll do the same to this one as well. Honestly, I probably could have done a little bit better a job of charring these, but a little skin in the salsa never hurt anybody. That was a gross sentence. And we'll do the same thing to the jalapeños, just take those outer skins off. And you could leave these whole, or you could de-seed them, depending on how spicy you want this dish to be. I've got 4 jalapeños, so I'll probably leave 2 of them whole, and take the seeds out of 2 others for a little extra heat. And as for the onions, we're gonna go ahead and just quarter these up to make them blend a little bit easier and make sure we take that root end out of there. And then into a food processor, we'll go in with all of our cooked off veg, including the tomatillos, the jalapeños, bell pepper, and the onion, as well as some garlic cloves, half a bunch of cilantro, some kosher salt, some cumin, Mexican oregano, and some coriander. And get that all mixed up. Oh, smells so good. And if I was making an actual salsa verde at this point, I would probably go in with some lime juice, maybe some avocado or some oil to thicken it up. Also, you could do this in a blender if you wanted it super fine, but I think the food processor will get the job done. Make it a little more rustic, a little more chunky. So I'm gonna scrape down the sides. And again, this is our braising liquid, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit of pork stock at this point, just to kind of loosen it up a little bit and make sure everything is finely chopped. Beautiful stuff. Smelling very nice. So now we're gonna go ahead and just set this aside until we need it. Next up, let's go ahead and knock out some pickled radishes. And in a small pot, we're gonna go in with 2 cups of water and 2 cups of white vinegar, followed by some sugar and some kosher salt, and bring that up to a simmer. And once up to a ripping boil, I'm gonna go in with 1 bay leaf to make sure everything stays nice and crispy. And then over the top we go. Spilling everywhere, per usual. Lid goes on. Let the heat cook these through and soften up, and once they're cooled down, we'll have some lovely pickled radishes. And checking back in on our pork steaks, it's been a little over 3 hours on these, and they are looking absolutely beautiful. Got some lovely color on there. Probing right around 180, 185, something like that. So I'm gonna pull these off and let them cool down for a little bit. But is there anything more beautiful than a pork steak on a direct heat pit? I think not, folks. Oh, love it. It smells so good. And now that these have cooled down just a little bit, we can go ahead and get them cubed up. So I'm gonna just go kind of maybe little 1-inch cubes. Looking nice and juicy, smelling like pork steak. And of course, you can make these chunks as big or as small as you like. I'm thinking little bite-sized pieces. They may stay in cube form. It may all turn into shredded pulled pork in the braise, but I guess we will find out. Looking pretty good to me. I love a good pork steak. Oh my God. Even without a mop sauce, fantastic. And then in we go to our intended brining vessel. And then cover that up with all of our sauce from earlier. And I'm going to throw in a couple more bay leaves for good measure and bring this up to a simmer, letting everything cook down. Let that salsa kind of concentrate a little bit. Let that pork get even more tender and let all those flavors get to know each other a little bit more. And I got to tell you, it is smelling incredible. And I probably will throw that other pork steak in there in a little bit, but it was a bit bigger than these two, so it's taking a little bit longer on the pit, but probably 10 minutes or so ought to be good. But until then, lid goes on. We're going to simmer this low and slow. And while that stews away, let's go ahead and knock out some flour tortillas. Start them going into the food processor with some bread flour, some baking powder, and some kosher salt, and give that a quick little mix. And then in with some Wagyu beef tallow, and get that cut in. And we'll stream in some warm water. And let that knead in there for about 30 seconds or so. And out it comes. Boop. Get that pesky blade out of there. Give this a few more kneads on the table. Ooh, nice and warm. And now I'm going to portion this out into some little dough balls. Thinking about a 30-gram dough ball, make it a little smaller tortilla. Then we're going to grab a dough ball, form all the seams to the underside, pinching everything closed. Give the old table roll for a nice smooth topped ball, like that. And now we repeat. And once all portioned out, we're gonna let these rest for maybe 30, 40 minutes to let all that gluten relax so we can press them out nice and thin. And once our dough balls are nicely rested, on the old Chud press we go. Got this thing heated up to about 350 degrees, and we're just gonna press these out. Taco squeal. Little bit of stickage. Beautiful. Looking nice and fluffy and nice and poofy. And once toasted to your liking, off this comes into a tortilla warmer over here to steam and get nice and soft. And now we repeat. And after about 2, maybe 2.5 hours of simmering away in this lovely salsa, our pork stew here is done. And if I was gonna eat this like a chili or a stew, I'd probably throw a little water or some more stock in there to loosen it up a little bit. But if you couldn't tell, I'm gonna be making some tacos out of this. So now I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit. And like I said, there are many ways to go about eating this dish, just like any other style of chili. You know, you could pop it in a bowl, put some toppings on top, and go after it with a spoon or a fork or something like that. You could put it on a bed of rice. I've seen a lot of people that throw potatoes in there during the braising process to get a whole meal that way. okay, but I think some of this meat and some of that salsa piled high on a freshly made flour tortilla sounds absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead and build some tacos. But first, let's go ahead and scoop some of this out and see what we're working with. Still got some good chunks of pork in there. Some of it did get shredded up, but smelling so nice. Smelling porky, smells like barbecue, and it's taking everything in my being not to have a bite right now. I'd eat that. But for our tacos, down with a lovely freshly made beef fat flour tortilla, to which we'll go down with a couple chunks of our lovely pork steak chili verde. Of course, some sauce to accompany it. Beautiful. And you can garnish these up however you like. I'm going to go down with some avocado, a little creaminess, a little more fattiness, followed by some of our pickled radishes for a nice splash of color and acidity. And I do wish these radishes weren't so gigantic, but that's all good. Top that with some freshly picked cilantro, if that is your jam. And then a little cotija to top everything off. And I gotta tell you, that looks pretty good to me, folks. Although I might have made it too big. And there it is, folks, a beautiful chili verde taco on some lovely homemade beef fat flour tortillas, topped with some homemade pickled radishes, avocado, cilantro, and yeah, I'm ready to dive on in. I will say that is quite a beautiful taco with all the colors on there, but really, it's all about how it came out. That's a winner right there, folks. That is an absolutely fantastic bite. You know, the pork is super tender, but it's still got that form factor to it. It's not completely pulled pork, but it just melts in your mouth. And you got the creaminess from that avocado. It's got a good kick to it from the jalapeños in there, but nothing overbearing. Then you got some freshness from the cilantro and a little bit of pop from that radish. And yeah, that is absolutely fantastic. Oh, a beef fat flour tortilla. I mean, what's not to like here, folks? And I did cut up some limes, but honestly, I don't really think it needs it. It's got plenty of acid to it. I'm not sure if that's from the tomatillos or if those radishes are just doing a lot of heavy lifting, but that is a very complex, flavorful bite. I'm definitely making this again. That is phenomenal. It just hits all the right notes. Also, that direct heat flavor from the pork steak is still shining through, which is absolutely fantastic. Definitely worth trying, folks. I need to make like 7 more. Ladies,
Yes.
Can I interest you in some chili verde tacos?
Yes, please.
Dive on in.
Okay.
I will say they are quite pretty looking.
Does it have lime?
I'd say try it without the lime.
Oh, okay.
It's got a decent amount of acidity to it
They're
without it.
beautiful. They look perfect.
They're so cute. Yeah, I made these tortillas a little smaller than my normal ones.
What are these radishes?
Yeah.
Feel authentic.
Oh my god.
I like it. It's a good like transition from the cochinillo pibil. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good winter to spring taco.
I think it could go pretty much any time of year.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, just like most tacos.
It does have a brightness with the verde.
That's what I was saying with the lime. Like, you can add it if you want, but it's got a...
I mean, these. Has everyone seen the jar?
No.
Of pickle? I mean, they're so beautiful. I can't.
They're beautiful. I don't know how to do this.
She walked out and said, this should be on the cover of a cookbook. I'm like, that's the last thing that would be on the cover of my cookbook.
They're
is that
so pretty.
jar
They are
of
really
pickles.
pretty.
They are quite pretty. The brine turns so red, too.
Oh my gosh.
Gorge.
Perfection. They're so thinly sliced. Yeah, this is good. This is good. So it's usually a stew, right? Like,
It is
Delish.
just satisfying to eat. Because
Really
it's
good.
tender, but it's still got like a form factor to it. It's not like barbacoa or something, you know?
I'm excited to eat
it's
this for
perfect in a
lunch tomorrow,
taco. Perfection. I would like more lime. I'm not gonna lie.
Go for it. Ladies, welcome to 2026 here on Chud's BBQ. Are you ready for another year of mostly sandwiches?
I guess not. I can't even hold a lime in 2026. I mean, if sandwiches are involved, bring it on. I can conquer anything if a sandwich is there.
Is a taco a sandwich?
I would say so.
No.
So good.
Yeah, it's really
I've
good.
had like 2 meals tonight already, and I can eat more.
I've had 3.
I made an aggressive amount of tortillas, so we can make a whole bunch of these.
Okay, good.
These tortillas are really good. These remind me the closest to what my family would have growing up.
I was going to make corn, but I just don't like making corn tortillas, so I made
Why?
tiny little flour ones instead.
There's just a lot of more of a margin of error, right?
I don't know. It's just not in my DNA to make corn tortillas.
Yeah.
Corn is my favorite.
I just haven't put enough time and effort in. Like, with the flour tortilla, I literally invented a machine to help me do it. Corn tortillas, I just haven't put the effort in yet. I've had success in the past, but they're just not as fun to make for some reason.
You've dialed these in too. You know they're
Yeah,
gonna be
these
good.
are, every time I have one, it's better and better.
I guess I ate really fast. Y'all are still going.
Yeah, I've never made this before, but definitely keeping that around. It's
Yeah,
the
it's
perfect
really
kind of,
good.
like you were saying, it's a good hearty, but it's kind of bright.
Yeah, but I don't feel like disgusting after eating it. I could definitely eat two.
I'm trying to think of what other
More at least.
proteins you can throw in there.
Well, this is just my first step into the world of chilies other than chili con carne. You know, we've got
Yeah.
chili blanco with chicken. There's chili Colorado. We're gonna not. It's gonna be a year
Ooh,
of chili, folks.
Colorado.
Okay.
Have you done mole before?
I haven't.
Oh, you need to
That's
do some mole.
it's like sourdough. It's one of those rabbit holes that I'm too scared to look down.
My mom used to get the mole made, the paste made in Mexico, and it's black. And that,
Like
oh my
sludge.
gosh. And it's, you know, they do it in the Mojake?
No, the
Mojate.
Mohawk. Yeah.
Mohawk?
Machete?
Anyways, I need to go to bed.
Yeah.
But yeah, do that.
Okay.
That's a good holiday one.
Yeah.
Just saying.
All right, this December we'll knock out mole. All right, how many more tacos am I making?
0. I've had all of your meals in the fridge today.
You had
3 different
etouffee,
meals.
you had
I had
chicken
etouffee,
parm,
chicken parm,
and now tacos.
Mexican,
Tacos, yeah.
Italian, and Cajun.
There you go. That's
Couldn't
what
be a
happens
better
when you
day.
raid
Good
the
variety.
Chud fridge. I'm probably going to have one more, though. And with this very last tiny taco, I think it's time for the official taste test. Ow. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is how to make some absolutely fantastic Chili Verde, or pork steak green chili stew. I highly recommend giving this one a try. You know, that was an absolute flavor bomb of a recipe and made for an absolutely incredible taco, and definitely something I'm going to be keeping in my back pocket for weeknight meals moving forward. Honestly, I bet you could vac seal that and bring that back to life real quickly with great results for an easy meal prep. And honestly, it came out so much better than I was expecting it to. You know, I put salsa verde on tacos all the time, and I figured it would be along those same lines, but it was completely different and honestly much better. The way that sauce really cooked down with the pork, that direct heat flavor, the texture of that pork, it was so flavorful. I just had 2 off camera and I'm feeling pretty full, but I'm glad to have lots on hand because that is going to make for a lot of great meals for the rest of the week, and definitely something I will continue making. Highly recommend it. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give this recipe a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I'd love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Team Chud members. Thank you for supporting this channel and allowing me to keep making all these videos, and until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace.